What's going on? So in this video, I'm going to be building a poker tournament slash building a poker game in Airtable from scratch. I was trying to find on the Airtable community if somebody had tried doing this before. I haven't found it. There's not going to be any money involved in this. This is just going to be building out the logic around a poker tournament. So I have about an hour and 14 minutes. I'm on dad duty today. Got the girl dad shirt on. So while Navy's taking a nap, we're going to see if we can build a poker tournament and teach you a little bit about relational databases and Airtable and some useful concepts in this. So what I have here is an Airtable base. I just started it from scratch. It has like nothing in it. So this is going to be poker player. I usually like, let's see, putting an emoji at the beginning. I like diamonds, so let's go with diamonds, and then let's change the color of this to black, maybe white. No, black. Let's go with black. So this is going to be our poker player. I was trying to find, I went to the Google search and I was trying to find some articles. Maybe somebody had tried this before, but I couldn't find anything. This first article was talking about the best base structure, the best entity relationship diagram for this, and they have players, tournaments, leaderboard, balance, results. This is actually similar to what we'll be doing, except to start off, we're just going to have players, tournaments. That'll be at least what we start out with. The leaderboard, from my perspective, will end up being on the players table. The balance will also be kept on the players table. So that's kind of how I'm going to run this one. Maybe there's a transactions table as well, but that's what we're going to be starting off with. Then there's going to be tables like hands and stuff like that. I kind of want, my goal by the end of this is to be able to play poker within Airtable. Okay, so the first thing we're going to have is players. The next table we're going to have is tournaments. The next thing that we're going to have are hands. So the way that I would see it working is there are players play in tournaments. Tournaments have rounds. Rounds have hands. And each hand is linked to one round and one player. So let's see if we can just start that off. And then I think I also want a table for a deck of cards. So basically say, a single select. I guess it goes ace, 2. Oh, no. So it goes 10 and then jack and then queen and then king. So I want those to show up as just pretty colors. So if I take this off of a single select and I make it a single select, it should give me a nice rainbow of colors. So this is I don't know what this is technically called. I guess if somebody actually knows how to play poker well, I'm probably going to get schooled by you on a deck of cards. But then we have, this should be, I believe, the suit. So yeah, again, the first thing we want is just I want 52 records for each, so we have clubs. Well, actually, we can use emoji for this. So we have clubs. There's probably a notation for this as well. It's actually my favorite heart emoji is the one for the poker game. Okay, so that's just a little bit higher of a red than the heart, but that's fine. So we'll make this heart red and click save. And then we want to copy all of those. I would really love to get pictures in here as well. Like get pictures of cards so that they can show once we're actually playing poker. I think that'll make it really, really pop. So stay tuned for that. Some of the more complex things that I'm anticipating is going to be shuffling. And these are actually kind of hard to see. So I may, let's say, go lighter. Just in this table, it's hard to see. That looks pretty good. So this first formula here is going to be, it's going to be a formula. It's going to be, it's like king of that. So let's go value and suit. And maybe let's add a space in there just to see what, if that makes it look good. Some of those look a little tight. Yeah, that looks just about right. Later on, I will want to add a attachment in here with a picture of the card, but for now, we're going to roll without it. Okay. So tournament, this would have like, let's see. So I believe the way that it work is you can like buy into a tournament. And then I think you could also rebuy into a tournament. For now, I'm going to just try to do the very basics of this. So let's say we have transactions. Yeah. So let's say buy in dollar amount. Oh no, this is going to be a currency. So the buy-in is going to be $100 for this tournament. Let's go spades. So to buy in, you would have had to buy in that much. Let's say tournament, you have to buy in through transactions. And we should have a type. Because I think certain times you can have like a number of times you're allowed to rebuy in. So let's have this be like a type. Buy in, rebuy in. Sticking with our brand colors. And you buy, see, a player buys into a tournament. Let's see, actually, just like for the tournament side of things, if this would look right. I don't think they really took into account transactions, but ideally, like if this was like a well-oiled, if this was an actual app, you would like connect this to like Stripe or a payment processor, and you'd have transactions where people either, I don't know if people can technically withdraw money at the end or like how that would work, but they would be able to buy in using maybe their credit card. All right, let's go back here. So one player buys in to a tournament. So let's just use some of the users that are already on this on my team. And let's not notify them that I'm using them as collaborators in a poker game. Sweet. So these are going to be my players. And this is also important. This is a user field in Airtable. And what we're kind of building here through transactions is kind of a junction table. These are like kind of like enrollments. By having this transaction, I am enrolling in this tournament. The transactions table could be where the leaderboard is stored. But now I'm kind of seeing why they wanted a leaderboard on a separate table, because you may have a leaderboard per tournament, but you could buy it. You could have multiple transactions per tournament. It's the tricky thing, because I think you can buy in and then rebuy in. I'm not really going to worry about the leaderboard, or yeah, we'll leave the leaderboard for last. While I'm not going straightforward to the goal of being able to play poker in Airtable, I'm kind of getting there. And all of this is going to be in the interfaces, of course. But for now, we're just here. Okay. So I want all of these players to buy into this tournament. So all those players, copy those names. We're going to start with the Spades tournament. Each of them bought in with a dollar amount. Everybody's buying in. For now, let's just go with a auto number. It's just going to be ID. Okay. So now on this tournament table, I should know if I look up. So if I add, this is basically like a VLOOKUP in Excel. If I want to look up from the transactions, the players who bought in. So we're just going to filter that. So these are the players who bought in. And then these are going to be who bought in. We'll allow one buy-in, I guess, as a house rule. As a house rule for this Airtable base, I get to set some things. So I think that is a good start. So these people bought in. Now tournaments have hands. Or no, tournaments have rounds. Rounds have hands. So rounds. Now some way, I guess a smaller deal is going to be who starts as the dealer. I think there's like probably different industry standard ways to do that. I feel like it's like somebody starts, like has like the dealer chip if they maybe have the highest card in a first round or something. Navy's just fussing around for a little bit, so I'm going to talk a little bit quieter, hopefully a little bit closer to the mic. Okay. So tournaments have rounds. This is going to be a little bit tricky. This is when it like really gets into the fun stuff. So then rounds have hands. At the beginning of a round, everybody gets dealt a hand in a specific order, which is why I have a separate table. There may be only a few players left in that. Oh, see, now I think this may be why we need leaderboard. During this round of this tournament, there's certain players that are remaining in that round because some people get knocked out if they don't rebuy in, or if they do rebuy in. And then those players have hands. So I guess we'll do some of that manually for now, as far as who's in it. But this, I'm going to show just a common thing we do because I just want to automatically know which round this is in. It's going to end up being a roll-up field, but in order to do it, this is something I learned from Kuvan in the Airtable community. It's going to start off with the record ID formula. So it's going to be like dev record ID. On the tournaments table, we're going to look up the dev record ID. And then back on the rounds table, from the tournaments, we'll look up the record ID. And this is actually going to be a roll up of the tournaments, the dev record ID, and save that. So for the Spades tournament. So what you'll notice is like this one shows up in first place, this one shows up in second place, this one shows up in third place. It's exactly how we want it. And what we're going to do is we're going to say, just like to show the order of operations on how I would start by doing this. So we want to use the find formula. We want to find that field. So whatever string is in this field within array unique. let's say array unique and that value. So you notice there's a pattern. If I group by this field, I start adding more records, you'll notice it keeps going up by the same increment of 17. So what happens if I add 17? 17 digits is the length of the how do I say it? 17 digits is the length of the Airtable record ID. So let's actually subtract 1. And now let's divide by 17. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now let's plus 1. Sweet. So now if I keep adding more records, I have something in here so I know which round num. So that's pretty cool. This is something I do all the time, like even in our Airtable CRM and other bases, like knowing which linked record it is a very, very common thing for us to do. Okay. So in the Spade tournament, first round, we're going to say all the players were there. So to make this easier on me, I'm just going to say these were the players. I feel like there needs to be a way where we like trigger the start of a round, because then that will create the hands table. Because later on, like right now, I have 4 people playing, but one person may like lose all their money and then they can't play anymore. So we're going to say start round. When that is checked, I want to create a record for each of these players in the hands table. Okay. That's going to be on the rounds table. When that is checked, repeating loop. For now, I'm just going to say loop through the players, test that input loop, and create a record for each of the players in the hands table. So create a record in hands. We'll link back to the round. Also didn't build out the hands table yet, so I need to link each hand to the players. There we go. Okay, so round. So round right here, we're going to link back to this record, or triggering record every time, and the player right here. So whatever I'm currently looping through is what I want to loop through there. Okay, so let's try that out. We click and unclick. Okay, round. Just to make things easier for now, let's do it that way. So this is round 1 in this tournament. Okay, and so the way that poker works, if you're watching this, you may know how poker works, so bear with me, is you get 2 cards to start off. So you get linked to 2 cards. I don't know exactly how I'm going to say who gets which cards first, like in what order, because the order really does matter. Because like, yeah, the order matters a lot. I think we're going to do that record ID thing here again. So we're going to have dev. Yeah. Again, I do this order, what I'm showing you here, to build the order number, like the same thing I did here on this. With this formula, we use this all the time. So back here on rounds, let's look up that, oh no, the record ID from hands. Change this to a rollup field from rounds. Record ID from hands. So this is the order. Again, we're going to figure out how to like rotate the order in the future based on like who's currently dealer on that round. But let's leave it as that for now. We'll just set the order manually for now. Or maybe not. It's not going to be fair if we set it as the same order, I suppose. But we'll just worry about that later. Okay, so each person needs 2 cards as well. This is when it's going to get real tricky. So for now, let's say Charlie got 2 aces. He's like super happy. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit more difficult to set it up. But once it's set up, it'll be really good. So these 2 already have 1 pair. This person would be kind of happy because they have 2 diamonds. And Yusuf would not be thrilled at all. I guess without knowing anybody else's cards, maybe he's not too dissatisfied because he has a 10. But I don't know. Anyway, that part doesn't matter as much. Here on this table is also where we are going to need to figure out the like ranking, like who has the best hand for this round, I believe. So for this round, the way that it works, from the way I understand it, is let's link to the deck. So the flop, and just making a note for myself, there should always be 3 here. And then what did they say? The next one is the turn and then the river. And we'll create one more linked record field to the deck for the river. Okay, so just one note as you're doing this, we created all these fields and they don't get named properly. If you want to know like what they're named, like what they should be named, you can try to delete the field and you can know, okay, this is rounds as flop. This is rounds as turn. I just know this because they created these in the same order that I created them. So again, this last one should be river. Okay. So if I go back here and I go to hands, probably the most complex thing that I'm actually looking forward to doing this, believe it or not, is coming up with a way to calculate who has the best hand. Because depending on what is pulled here, like this person could have the best hand. They could have a full house. They could have the best hand. So that'll be an interesting thing to see. Okay. And just to clean up names, because eventually I'm going to get rid of these things, these numbers. We're going to take those out. And one thing, hopefully you're looking forward to this, is the randomization of the deck of cards. That will be a little bit tricky for us to do. Yeah, but it's possible to do it. Okay, so let's delete all these and let's just see kind of what we have. So we have this, we want to start the round. That then goes and creates these hands. Okay, I think that works. And then we're going to go flop, turn, and river. I think that also works. You kind of need to see what other people are doing in poker. So I think most of our interface is going to be built off of the rounds table. So I'd say delicate dance in Airtable is like having the right database structure while also having the right interface to like support it. It's like sometimes it's really a balance between these three things, because you may have the perfect data structure, but it's such a pain in the butt to build an interface that is intuitive. You may have the perfect interfaces, but the data structure is so like backwards that it doesn't make sense. And then you may have like a good balance between the data structure and the interfaces, but in order to do that, you need automations to do it. And sometimes those automations can be slow, which is not always ideal. But let's just get started with some nice interfaces. So the first one is going to be a gallery view. Actually, do we have more interfaces here? Nope, we don't have any more. Gallery view of the players. Now players, they really do deserve a headshot. Maybe we call that a profile pic. Image field, profile picture. Fields visible. We don't need transactions. We don't need rounds. Okay. So we have players. We should name our interface. It's going to be poker player. And we want the diamond. Oh, they didn't like diamond there. I guess there's two diamonds. I only liked one of them. We want to create another thing in here that is tournaments. You should be able to open a tournament. Rounds. This is a linked record that we're going to change to a view. We need to be able to start the tournament. So maybe there's a minimum number of people that are needed to start the tournament. Then you can start it. Here's our tournament. Let's make this a full screen page. Let's make rounds full width. Show some more fields here. So we need to know who are the players. We need to know which round this is. We think that's all that I can display out of confidentiality, because you don't want to accidentally show somewhere what the cards are. This detail page right here, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be the most important detail page. So we built with the coolest permissions. Just as a note, I think it's going to be cool. We don't need that. Hands. It's going to be good. Hands, we need to know who the person is who owns the hand. And that's kind of it. We don't even need that name field for now. Let's leave those three fields there for now. Okay. Let's link down here to hands now. So this one is going to be like all hands. This one is going to be my hand. And let's say this is going to be a view. I don't want anything other than my cards. So the tricky thing with this one being my hand, is security matters here a ton. we need to look up on the hands table for permissions purposes the collaborator field. And in the interfaces, we're of course going to invite everybody as interface only users. And I want a page probably just so I can easily access the rounds. Again, don't need to show much here. So here, my hand, we're going to add a filter. We're going to say if the collaborator is the current user, they can see their hand. Just to build some confidence with them, we'll show them the collaborator field. And we will show them their cards if we can figure out where that field went. Oh, we already have cards. Sweet. And then ideally on the hands, we also look up the attachments. What's it? Whole cards. I think that's what we'll call these. Whole cards. Which we of course don't have images for yet, but we will later. So back in that interface, let's open up this round. Just while we're here, let's add a level above. This is the perfect list view. We have tournaments, spades tournament. Open this up. Here's my hand. And let's visualize the whole cards. Okay. So here's all hands. Let's see, what do we want to be able to see? Not very much, if I'm being honest. Where I'll be able to see my cards. Let's actually just for now, I'm going to make this editable. Let's say, actually, did we already do this? Hands. I know I deleted all this, of course. So here we have my hands, cards, 4 and 2. So if I view it as myself, if I look at this as Charlie, it did not look like that. Let's publish all this. That may be what's holding it back from working for Charlie. So my hand, 4 and 2. And I need to be able to say, I want to bet on this hand. Now the actions that I'll be taking are actually going to be from the hand point of view. It's maybe the interface will need to be built off of hands. Not 100% sure on that, so we're just going to build the hands anyways. This is kind of going to be a hand history, if you will. And on the hands table, whoever's logged in should only be able to see their own hand. Let's look at collaborators, has current user. We're setting this up here at the viewer record. That way yeah. Okay, so let's make this one large. So let's make this one a view. Let's make it a gallery. No list. I wonder what happens if on the hands table, if I look up the hands, there's a field called hands. Yes, there is hands. I guess I can't look up the same field. That's what it looks like. No, can't look up the hands here. Weird. Okay, I'm just not sure where I want to build the primary user experience to play poker, to be able to take the actions you would normally take in poker from. Because this is round 1 in this tournament. Let's make those side by side. Yeah, I unfortunately just think it's going to have to be built from here. And as you're playing, you may just like have to open up your hand as a side sheet to take actions. We kind of want something here that's like a total pot. Another thing we could do is make this AI powered and let people like maybe use the dealer's money to have AI analyze their hand and suggest what to do. That would be kind of cool because we have AI in this enabled. Let me know, I guess, in the comments if you want to see that in a future video. But over here, oh no, I haven't been sharing. Apologies for not sharing. But I've been between the rounds table and the hands table. Do I want to build it on the rounds table? Do I want to build it on the hands table? And I think where I've come to is you may just have to like open up your hand here and you take actions over here based on the first betting round, second betting round, third, and final. So first betting round, we have some options. So we need to be able to add fields. Could have sworn I could add a field from here. So you should be able to call. Let's see. You can check or you can bet, unless you're the big blind. So you're either big blind, small blind, or not. Big blind, small blind, free. Call that a type. And let's include the type here. Let's enable us to edit these. So Kelly's big blind, Charlie's small blind. Yusuf is free. So let's say if I go back to hands, rounds, tournaments, let's have a big blind be a currency field. Let's have a small blind be a currency field. And for now, let's enable editing. So we're going to say this one's $10 big blind, $5 small blind. Oh, but I'm in spades, so let's say this is, let's do the same thing, 10 and 5. Rounds, let's open up this round. Need to look up this data on the hands table. So if I look up from the round, let's look up from the tournament. Small and big. Hands, let's look up from the round. Big, small. Okay. Open up mine. So I'm in here for free. Let's look at this as Kelly. She's in here as the big blind. So this is going to be a switch statement, super common when we have single selects and we want to associate a value with it. So we want to switch the type field. If it says big blind, use the big blind field. Basically, this is a nested if statement. Otherwise, we will use if 0, 0, 0. And we want this to display as currency. The if 0, 0, 0, we're going to come back to that, and we're going to update that. You can always, every single person can always come in here and go currency, first round bet. Please enter a unique field name. So first round bet manual is what we're going to replace in this if. First round bet manual, then first round bet manual, otherwise 0. And just, this is not going to be editable in the future, but just so I can test it. Let's preview this as me. Open up my hand. So if I was free, if I was big, ooh, okay. And let's go max. So first betting round, I'm the big blind. I bet 15. I'm small blind, still the same. I'm free, I'm the same. With no money in here. Free, that. Small blind, I'm that. Big blind, I'm that. $10. Sweet. Okay. I kind of need to know how much I can bet as well in this tournament, which that, I guess, is why we need the leaderboard. That way you can see. I guess if tournaments only ever happen, I guess the tricky thing would be if you have multiple tournaments and you are in multiple tournaments. Maybe you want to be able to play at multiple tables in theory at one time. That would be the reason for having this leaderboard table. I don't love this. It just kind of complicates things. But a leaderboard is meant to be a unique player in a unique tournament. So this is really enrollments. Okay. So tournaments, players. If Ben had to rebuy into the tournament for $100, we want to call this ID. So you'll notice here, like this is how it would work. Ben, let's roll up the total buy-in. So transactions, the value, sum that up. Total buy-in. Okay. So total buy-in, and then I think that works. Then we need to link to hands or rounds. I'm not sure. Probably hands. That way we can look this up. So the reason why I want to do this is because I don't want somebody to be able to bet more than they have, if that makes sense. So just to get this data populated, I'm going to pull these from the players table. I'm going to look up the total buy-in for them, and that there's going to need to be quite a few automations to make that work well. Okay, let's check this out. So total buy-in. So what's this called? This is like your total. I guess really what I'm going for is like, we need like a balance. For now, it's just total buy-in. But on the hands table, we would need to know like won/lost. So each round could have multiple winners. So we would need to know, eventually we'll need to know like some way to signal this person was the winner, which I think will be done by a formula. But for now, let's say like this is the winner. So maybe these two people tied. On the rounds table we need, so back on the hands, there's like total bet, which is a currency field. On the rounds table, we need to count how many people were winners. So count the hands where the winner checkbox was checked. Now this is going to get real. Oh, wonder how they built these apps. Because you can play poker on your phone. That's how I've been learning how to build this for this video. Yeah, for this video, right? Some you can do like, because you may go all in. Somebody else may bet more money than you did. All right, we're going to have to figure that out later. I don't know how that works on the data side. So total bet from that round. Count winning hands. So rounds. We need to roll up from the hands the total bet value. So here, count winning hands. Dupe that. From rounds, total roll up. Okay, so let's say eventually like it's $10, so 4 rounds. Let's say everybody bet $40. Everybody just bet $10 every single round. These two hands tied. So we want to say like if you are the winner, then take the total bet roll up divided by the count of winning hands. Otherwise, you are negative your total bet. -1 times your total bet. And that should also be a currency field. I think this should be 0. Okay, so the total pot was 160. Because 4 people bet. Oh, you need to say minus your total. We'll see if this ends up working out. Okay, so now this on the leaderboard table, we're going to roll up from your hands your amount won or lost, but only if that hand has been, no? Yeah, I think this is it. So then balance plus AMT. Yeah. Okay. So this is like betting balance. Okay. So rounds. So I'm in this round. So my betting balance is that. I think this kind of needs to like stay up top. Like I always need to be able to see that. So let's leave that. Okay. So we need a like status, a hand status. So first round status. So you need to be able to fold, check, raise. We want to add some buttons. So you should be able to fold anytime, but that button can be on the page. So update record. Let's just have a field for now that just is a checkbox for fold. This is again a little bit messy. Not really thinking through everything here, but because there needs to be some indicator that like it is your turn, like you're able to take the actions now, which is a little bit tricky. So we want to update the fold to be checked. I'm going to call this fold. Color before, red. Label after folded. We'll put a little emoji there. All right, so that's how you'll fold. And then, so you can fold no matter what. But if you fold, it's going to update this. And so this should only be visible if fold is not checked. Okay. So if you click that, you folded. And then that should disappear. Yeah. But do I want it to disappear? Not necessarily, because I added the emoji. But we don't need to see that field. Okay. So first round bet manual, first round status. I want to add some buttons here. So not visibility. Buttons. Add button. First one is going to be check. This one's going to be raise. Each of these are going to be update record actions that update the status to check. Action update record, the first round status to, that one's check. This one is raise. So checked, raise. So you can click check and it goes to checked. You can click raised. Okay, so check. Under what circumstances can you check? So there needs to be like a first round minimum in order to be able to check. And that is from whoever did the max on the first round. So hand, first round bet manual, first round bet. On the rounds, we're going to roll up from the hands, the first round bet max. And this is actually going to be the min bet. Okay. So first round bet min. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Want to add a field here that is the whatever the heck I just added. Oh, I need to look that up on the hands table. So if I go back to interfaces here, go to rounds. Here's the first round bet min. Save that, change the name there. This one is going to be like my first round bet. Okay, so as big blind, you have to. So big blind could check, but if I was small blind, my first round bet is that. So I'm going to have some sort of an indicator that says this is like indicator. So if the min is greater than the let's see, then need to raise by So here, you need to raise by $5. So we're going to call this one the addition. So if I bet $5, okay, so the tricky thing is like in the first round, you could bet multiple times. If some person keeps raising, you could do this multiple times. So I kind of need to be able to like stamp the value somewhere else so that you're able to keep raising. Like you could raise for like 10 minutes. You could raise like 5. Each person could raise like 5 times within this first one. The only thing that this is going to be a place where it slows this down a little bit because this is going to require us to like build an automation around this. So where it gets a little bit tricky. And if you're free, can I add more buttons here? Whoops. Now it's going to show it over there. So I need to raise by $10. So if I put it in here, $10, that goes away. And now so there should be some first round raise indicator. Let's see. Okay, so min bet versus my bet. If I want to say $15, I guess that doesn't really work. I think I need some more fields, unfortunately. I wish I didn't because I've already added a bunch just for this first round and there's 5 rounds. But unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to because I need some way to be able to make all of these a little bit more complicated. In order to check, that would be no bet. So in this case, because I'm free, if this is not, so if this is greater than 0, I can't check. I can only fold. So that is less than or equal to 0. Oh. Min bet less than or equal to 0. And I can only raise if what I'm adding is greater than. So check, raise. So I think I need some field that is like full. first round bet. This is going to be editable. This one needs to be the addition. My first round bet. So let's say I add 5 here. First round bet men. Let's go back here. Okay. So need to raise by $5. So if I want to raise by $5, so let's say first round addition. First round status. So let's say I want to add $5. So do I say I want to add to it? I don't know. I think this is good so far. So min is $5. Okay. Unfortunately, there's a few different math things needed, I think. I may be overcomplicating this, which hopefully I am. But just so this shows up properly. So let's use that switch statement. Okay. So big blind, small blind. Let's see. So let's just clear out all of those. So when this one gets created, this one gets created as 10, that one gets created as 5. So it says the min first round bet is that. So the min raise is this. And if I put in 15, so I raised it to 15, submit it, that then puts that in there. This person puts in 20, which then puts that there. Wait, what if I only put 15? What would happen? What if I said 20? Oh, wait, no. Okay, so I want to add that there. My first round bet. First round bet min. First round bet min is pulling from full first round bet, the max value. Okay. Okay, so let's say this person checks. So they put in 10. Well, this person put 10, this person put 5 from the start. That's like their default value. They had to. They then want to add. So I don't really understand how the order works yet, but let's say this person adds 10. So they had to at least add 5 if they wanted to play. They do that, which then makes that 15. They shouldn't need to raise at all. First round, okay. That's where it's messed up. So then here, this person has to bet 15. So they bet 15, submit it. All good. This person also bets 15. They submit it. It's good. Well, let's say this person said 20. Each of these people min first round bet. First round bet min. Oh. So this person needs to submit it and say, now I bet 20. Well, before this one said 15. So this person, unless they fold, they need to bet 5 more. So they bet 5 more. But had this person said do 20, everybody else now has to go add 5 more. So whenever there's like a submission, we need to take the addition plus full. So on the hands table, when the first round status is any of fold or check or raise, if it's any of raise, then we want to update the value of the hands table, that record, full bet becomes that formula. Let's try this out in the interface. Okay. Let's, I guess, just go back here. Okay. So as a default, those are applied. So this person says check. This person says $10 and to raise it. That was pretty instant. Okay, so now the min's 15. So this person is, okay, I need to put in 15, so I'm going to put 20, and I'm going to raise it. Now it moves to this person. They say, I'm going to do 20. I guess this is technically called calling. Okay, so this person calls it at 20. This person wants to call. So if somebody calls, okay. So if you call, the new full would be either your raise amount or the addition amount. Let's update this to be, is any of raise or call. Check or fold don't change your bet amount, but call would. Let's go back through these. So it starts off as that. Check. My only options for this guy would be either call, so it should be call, okay. And then this person says I want to raise it by $5. I also want to clear this out. In doing this, update that. Okay. So I had bet previously $5 for this guy. Let's have him call it. Raise that to 15. Call. 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 15, 15, 15. And now it should be good. All right, so if fold, so this if statement is going to say those things exist, one of those things exists, and that also equals 0. Then that is complete. Okay, so let's try this, start this over and see what happens. Okay, so these people This person checks. They're good. This person, I guess they didn't, they technically said raise, but they should have just said check. This one wants to raise to 15 and says raise. So now these, okay, these are blank. So this person's complete for that round. And this person says fold. So they're good. Okay, so then it goes back in the queue to this person, and they need to call. This person also needs to call. I'm wondering if my automation, let's just play something out, see what happens. So this person adds 5. This person calls it. This person calls it. This one wants to go up to 20, raises it. This person folds. This person wants to add 10, and they say raise. Does the automation trigger? No, it did not. Okay. So the automation should trigger there. So what I'm thinking of is this needs to also get cleared out. But let's see what, we're going to have to change something else now, because that's going to mess multiple things up. All right, so we want to raise. So now it's 30. Now this one we want to say, wait. This was the start. So I want to raise it by $10. Fold, call, and this person wants to raise it by $20. Let's see if this works. Okay. So first round bet. That gets defaulted. This person chooses to raise. So they're good. Call, call. Raise to 25. So this person's good. Now none of these people are. Call, fold. Raise it by $30. Fold. Raise it by another $10. Oh. So I guess it was, oh. So if you choose raise, it uses the minimum. Okay. I think we're pretty good. So that's the start of this. We're an hour 42 into this, and there's still a few other things to build with this, such as randomizing the deck, so shuffling. But this now is going to work pretty smoothly. So this should be able to be view only. First round addition, status, view only. check, call, check, check, call, check, call. Maybe we'll just always have this be call and see what that does. So here, just for now, I want to show the first round. Full bet. No, we already have a bunch of values in these. So check call, min raise. First round min raise. Oops. Okay. Let me look at this as Charlie. Open up his hand. He calls it. He's $10 now. Then Kelly comes along. She comes in here and she so Kelly's bet 10. She's the big blind. She can check or call. Preview this as Yusuf. Open up his. He can fold. So we're complete with round one. Okay, so that is all the logic to get complete with round one. It then needs to be able to move to round two. Kind of need an indicator on like batter up as well. That'll be something I add soon. It's like who is up. For now, I'm going to have a checkbox. Actually, let's say this is going to be a formula. So currently it says everybody's up, but there should be one particular person. All right, that's it for today. This is the start of it, just with some interfaces and some of the automations, but we're going to keep building on this in probably a few part series. So stick around and we'll keep on building. We'll see you soon. If you want a link to the base by the end of this, by the way, we're going to be giving out a link in the description. So check out the link down there and you can get a link to this. See you there.